Well, hey there, Chubs listeners. Guess what? It's Chubs Gone Wild, episode 399. We're about to hit a whole new century of Chubs Gone Wild podcast.
We're
I'm
about,
so excited.
so you're saying we're about to hit 400.
Yes, yes, 400 years
Okay.
of
I thought,
Chubs
I thought you meant pounds.
going wild. Oh, well, honey, that was years ago. Years and years and years ago. Anyway, today is June 21st, 2021. And it is currently about 88 degrees and sunny outside the Chubs Gone Wild remote studios, which is a blessing because it is down from 3 days of over 100 degrees.
It was 4 days.
4 days? Oh,
Yeah, it was Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
see, I must have blocked some of it out.
Yeah.
But I mean, it was like, what, 109 on one of them?
110. That was the day you were out in the at a bar after you had tried to get me to come to that bar.
Yes,
And
I did.
fuck you. I
Yeah.
don't go out on 110 days.
No.
I stay home. I didn't even go into the pool the whole time because I didn't want to walk outside because it was horrible.
Oh, I would have been in that pool.
Well, see, the differences, and a lot of people don't understand when we say how hot it is. It's because it doesn't cool off at night. And I know the southern states know what this is. It doesn't cool off at night. So you walk out and you're getting heat 100-degree, well, or more coming up from the pavement.
Right.
And then the sun coming down on you, that's over 100 degrees. So it's almost like, oh, what is it? It's like those convection ovens. You're getting on all sides.
I saw one post said, so this is what an air fryer feels like.
Yes, that's exactly it.
Yeah. Yep. It was pretty crazy. And we were very blessed. Our AC only kind of went out once one afternoon, and the rest of the time we were able to moderate it to where it did pretty well. So we're very, very happy.
What I told you is, if at all possible, overnight, try to utilize fans in the window and bring in the cool air, because we never had we had the fan. We had the air conditioning off most nights by 11 o'clock and the whole house fan on all of the night, and turned it off first thing in the morning and closed up the house. It's like that commercial where they're gathering the wind and the sun.
Yeah.
Because we're in California. Well, you can do that here. And fortunately, it had gotten down to like 70. So it wasn't cool, but it was comfortable.
Right. Yeah. We try to keep ours regulated to about 73 now. We used to be, like, years ago, it was like freeze. 68, 69. Now 73. We're good.
Yeah, we dropped ours down to 78 from 80, just because from 80 to 78 is like this huge cooling difference.
Oh, it is. It really is.
And I won't even have the air conditioning on today.
Ours will be on a little bit here and there, but yeah, 88 we can usually do pretty well.
Yeah.
So anyway, it is 132 days until Halloween. So we need to get those costumes done, TJ. Also, it's 197 days till Christmas, 14 days till Independence Day, although you wouldn't know it because in our neighborhood, they're still setting off things left and right, and let the Facebook posts fly. The neighbor next door, everybody is ready to turn these people in with the new law that we have and rip their heads off, and they're just done with it.
The sad part about this is that they haven't even started selling the legal fireworks.
Right.
Those don't start selling until this week, at the end of the week.
Yeah.
I think it's the 26th. I think it's Saturday. Saturday, they can start selling the legal fireworks. So what we've been hearing are not just gunshots, but they are actually fireworks that go up in the air and explode.
Yes. And
in our community.
I mean, the ones that they set off, another one yesterday that around here that was so loud, it like shook everything, shook the windows, shook the, set off car alarm type things. It was just ridiculous.
It's ridiculous.
Anyway, but 14 days until Independence Day and 197 days until season 2 of Call Me Kat.
Wow, that's not long enough.
Oh, I need it. Hopefully they'll bump it up some. Sometimes they do that.
Well, I'm surprised it's so many, so far away. But it's
I
they're probably going to start it in the winter after the
Thanksgiving break type thing.
Well, the Christmas break.
Mm-hmm.
That's when they've been NBC started doing it. Basically, they had shows in reserve. So as soon as a show died, one of the new shows, they yank it really quick, and then they would pull in these other shows that they had saved for the winter break. But they're like, "Fuck that, we need them now." And it works really well. Yeah.
All right. Well, let's see. We've got some holidays to holiday today, including Atheist Solidarity Day, go skateboarding, no, Day of Yoga, Day of the Gong,
Gong,
gong like the show, I guess.
Yeah.
Peaches and cream. Selfie day. When's the last time you took a selfie?
I take a selfie every once in a while just to double check how my eyes are doing.
That's good.
So it's not like really a selfie to post. It's more of a selfie to see.
Yeah.
Especially after I had my COVID scare a couple weeks ago.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, I had mentioned before, it's either COVID or my Bell's palsy is coming back or it's a stroke. So the way to tell is my eyes. My eyes finally started evening out after 20 years of Bell's palsy. So when they, I don't want to lose them again. Well, actually, now that they're back, I've already lost them because my eyes were always very squinty. And when the Bell's palsy came, I had one big eye that was open and the other one was squinty. It was sad.
Everybody always thought you were winking at them.
I know. It's like, why are you winking at me? And I'm like, it's Bell's palsy. You're not that great.
There's also Ride to Work Day. Take your cat to work. Oh, that would be a curveball.
Fuck that. That's the worst idea ever.
I'm sure your cat would not appreciate that.
I mean, I hated the kids to work day. That was bad enough because they were, they would release their children on the office. But a cat?
Yeah, see, a dog to work day, I can see.
That's different.
Fine if they're friendly and everything. But
well, and if they're, well behaved, but you can't train a fucking cat.
No. Anyway. Also, it's World Giraffe Day, World Handshake Day. Oh, I think that's still on hold. And also World Music Day. The world music. Oh, today's affirmation. I am my own unique self, special, creative, and wonderful.
This is the same shit every week. They're just rewording it.
Well, yes, but they're rewording it so that each one is special, creative, and wonderful. Anyway, Patreon offers folks a way to support creators and receive awards not open to the general public, like special podcasts, videos, books, and more. And we want to thank our current patrons, Clint, Nephi, Nick, TJ Starsage from Univaz, Timothy, Eric, Brother Sinatus, Phoenix Dave, and Moose P. Please become a patron of the show over at patreon.com/MattBurlingame. All right. That reminds me, so of course our patrons who've been with us for a long time, like all of these folks will be getting copies of Last Romance. They've already got their digital copies, but they'll be getting printed copies. I finally got everything sorted out on Amazon for the digital copy, which will be released in 9 days, and the print copy, which is actually available now. And wow, I'm very happy that is done. After like 5-6 years of working on it.
Okay, and why don't you tell them what it is?
Oh, you mean
Just in case
Last
people don't know.
Romance? So it's last. What?
Yeah, because some people might not know what you're talking about.
Okay, so it's called Last Romance, and it is my new romance novel, but it's not your typical romance novel. And the lead character is actually sick. He has with cancer, and he has 3 months to live. And it is about his last days and him finding love in those last days. But it is not a typical romance, like, you know, how a lot of people think that romance in title is like either erotica or Barbara Cartland, you know, like the old oh dear. Not like that. So but anyway, you will be getting a print copy of that. All right, let's move on to birthdays, because I know that there's some out there. Tends to happen. Today's birthdays, we want to wish happy birthday to Emerson Mateo. Oh, that actor Wes Ramsey, that famous movie star that we know from ages ago doing theater. Also Dan and Joe. We already did those. James, Mike, Jim, Toby, Mike, Eric, Cindy. Let's see. Oh, Cindy, who was in 2 of our plays. Well, 3 of our plays, actually.
Wait, Cindy who?
Cindy Davis.
I know, I was saying Cindy who, like Cindy who.
Gotcha. Yes.
No, Cindy Davis was in my play twice. I know that.
And then she was in another one of our productions, but I don't remember which one it was. But it was around the same time period.
Was it the first or second opening lines?
She was in both of those.
No, which was the other production?
Oh, around the first one. She was in another one, but I don't remember exactly which show it was.
Because she's tremendous. You know, she got nominations for both opening lines.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, she deserved it. She was one of the powerhouses in the show. You wrote that middle scene between her and the other character brilliantly. I mean, that it stole the show. And then we also have Charles Jeff Adams, who is also an author and part of the Big Gay Fiction podcast. I think I got that one right. So happy birthday to him. Also, that actor Mark Sacco, formerly of the Cocktails and Cream Puffs podcast.
Wait. Cocktails Cream, is that 4 words?
Yes. Oh, thank you for reminding me of that. But yes, he is turning older. Also, Jonathan Richard Hank, Rob Roberts, who is also a famous podcaster in the Orange Radio and gaming circles, and Jennifer, former podcaster Tom from Thailand. We haven't heard from him for a long time, at least podcast wise. Also, that actor Troy Masters, remember that, Daddy? From from whatever that baseball show was that we did. But
no, he wasn't in the baseball show.
I always think of it as baseball show because of the catcher pitcher scene in the match.
Oh, okay. Because I thought you meant like Take Me Out.
Oh no, but that was a good one too.
It was Brian's directorial fuck play. That's
yes. Oh, bug chasing. I don't remember.
It
Catch.
was Catch.
That's what it was. Yes.
Okay.
Did I ever tell you that I had sex with the writer? Anyway, moving on. Let's see.
Well, no, let me tell you about one night you weren't there.
Oh.
But because because I always work box office when we were at that theater. So that night after, because it was a hot night when we were doing Catch, because that was one of our summer shows. Because remember, we did 3 summer shows that year.
Yeah.
That were different. And so during that show, when he got done with this scene, we had this big, one of those tornado fans basically in the lobby, and he came out, took off his shirt, and stood in front of it. And while the sweat's dripping down his sides, and we're all in the office with the door open, going, "Oh my God! Oh my!
Wow!
Oh!
I mean,
Yeah.
he was the epitome of the hot
Yeah.
daddy at that time, especially. And also actress Sharon Fredrickson, who we had and we used to do a show with her. Big Being Gay Today. Yes, a lot of gay and big and being and stuff. But so happy birthday to all of them. What else we got going on here? Well, we don't seem to have anything in our feed bag. Sadsies. But we do have some chub hugs to send out, and I'm going to send mine out to a coworker of mine, Cormundo, who lost his pup yesterday. And very sad. What you got? Anything?
I did. I had one that I've been harboring in my head, and I can't remember what it was now.
Maybe it'll come back to you while we're doing the show.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. It's probably, maybe I thought I put it somewhere. I don't know where it is.
Huh.
Okay.
All right. Well, moving on to current topics, Stonewall Inn has banned Anheuser-Busch beers after the company has donated big bucks to the anti-LGBTQ politicians. Apparently, let's see, Budweiser, Bud Light, Stella Artois.
Yeah,
I've never had to pronounce it. I don't.
It's a pretty glass that they have. It's nice.
Yeah. Okay. Michelob and Shock Top beers are among several others are now banned from Stonewall. Huh. I'm really surprised at that. I mean, they have been, whenever we had events out here, they were always like one of the top donors.
Yeah, and why are they not? What happened?
They gave big bucks to anti-LGBTQ politicians.
How? I don't understand that. That's
no idea.
That makes no sense at all. No sense at all.
I'm wondering if it was one of those cases where they just didn't know, or just decided not to look. I don't know, but they need to clean up their act.
Yeah,
we went through this with Coors. Coors suffered.
Budweiser was a staple for 50 years at Pride fairs. Yep. This doesn't make any sense.
The VA will, excuse me, make transgender confirmation surgery available to trans veterans. President Biden has made the choice to add that to the coverage. So, yay, that's very cool. Also, Paris Jackson, the daughter of Michael Jackson, says her family still doesn't talk about her sexuality because it's taboo. What people think about me isn't my business, but there are moments when it is really hard and like you feel alone. You feel kind of excluded, Paris told in a sit-down interview with Willow Smith. And I love that the Smith kids are like, we love everything. So, very cool. Anyway, now that that's out of the way, Tom wants to talk to you about.
Oh, is this my week?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Let's see. So starting this week, I need to move that down there. Let's see. Starting this week off with High School Musical, the musical, the series, season 2, episode 5. Another. It's weird because what they seem to be doing is they seem to be doing theme shows. Like the last week was Quinceañera, the week before that was Valentine's Day. So they're doing that kind of stuff. And this week, the main guy character, his father is dating the drama teacher, female drama teacher.
Oh,
so,
okay.
So that's uncomfortable for him. And but lots of people, you know, like finding love, lots of love this season. So, but it didn't have. I mean, honestly, I think there was a theme to this, but I can't remember what it was because they all have been. But it was like basically they were trying to write a new song for Beauty and the Beast to add to it. It was a song from the Rose, and not you know, some say love is like a a song from the Rose that sings to the Beast, you know. And so they were working on that. And Love Victor, of course, is available on Hulu. And the basic thing here is this season is he's trying to episode 2 he actually came out at school because everyone's like, you know, oh, what'd you do this summer? Hey, did you get some of your girlfriends? You know, and he and he's like going, no, we kind of broke up. And then they started calling her a slut because obviously she cheated on him. That's why they broke up. And so by the end of the episode, he had told everybody, fuck you, I'm fucking this guy. So well, he didn't say fucking.
Right.
Yeah. But and honestly, all he has to do is when the guys give him shit, he goes, you know what I have that you don't have? A blowjob every night. Okay, bye.
Whoa.
But that's what I mean. That's what you got to say to these guys because they're not getting sex every night,
right?
But the gay kids are, if they want it, you know.
Yeah.
And when you're 13, 14 years old, 15 years old, if you can get it every night, you will.
Oh yeah. Well, we condone that, but we understand. We were there at one time.
It's the hormones. The hormones are constantly saying, "Why aren't you having sex?
Right?
Why are you not jerking off? Come on!" That's why Big Mouth is so funny. The series Big Mouth, because the hormone monsters are constantly following these kids around, going like, "Oh, hi, Andrew, you really look nice today. She wants to fuck you. Fuck her in the ass." And he's like, I don't think that's what she said hello for, you know. It's but that's exactly how it is when you're that age. Everything is. Did that mean something? Oh my God, I can't concentrate. I mean, I remember being it was junior high in a math class, and I remember not being able to get up out of math class because I had a hard on.
Yeah, see, that's one of the things is I even when I did, I was able to manage to hide it. But yeah, it just happened over nothing.
Oh, I know.
Yeah.
Let's see. Loki, second episode, better than the first episode. I know the first episode seemed like, where is this going? Well, the second episode, you really see where it's going. And it's fun. I really like the Loki character. I like the fact that he's he's an anti-hero, but mischievous. He wants to do good if he wins in the end.
Yeah.
If it benefits him, he wants to do good, but he'll do bad if he needs to. And I like that about a character because you can tell that they're honestly kind of good inside. Right. You know, you got to have that edge to it. So, and so that's been fun to do. Home Before Dark, season 2, episode 2. We got some more information. There was all of a sudden a group of birds that came down at this one house during a storm, but like hundreds of birds. And then a few days later, there's a lake where all the fish are dead. So obviously the giants are poisoning the water and they need Thor to come and help. Oh wait, no, that's a different show.
Okay.
But when I hear poison water now, I notice the giants are poisoning it. Yeah. From Ragnarok. Ragnarok. Yeah, I can never say that right. Let's see. Don't care about that. Oh, there's a new show starting on Netflix this year. It's called Human Resource. And what it is, it's a new animated series from the big mouth people. And this is where all the hormone monsters work. they work at the Human Resource Center. So it's all going to be taking place in this dimensional place where the all the hormone monsters, make these kids go crazy. And if it's any, I mean, I love the hormone monsters, so they're so funny. I'm really looking forward to this. I'm so excited. I can't even stand it.
Well, that's good.
Yeah, something to look forward to finally.
Yeah.
Let's see. I did want to mention that lovely Julia Butters, who played Anna Cat on American Housewife, and then who went on to Steen Seal from Leonardo DiCaprio in the Hollywood movie. What is it? Another Day in Hollywood. What is the Quentin Tarantino movie?
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and she was like amazing in it, right? And then she quit American Housewife because she's going to pursue a movie career. And her next movie that you can see her in is playing the sister of Steven Spielberg in a autobiographical picture called The Fabelmans. So she's going from Tarantino to Spielberg. I think she's doing okay.
Okay, I was gonna say for a moment I thought you were gonna say Steven Seagal or something. I'm like, oh no.
No.
He gives up a perfectly good job for that. But,
yeah, so this is good, and I can't wait. We started watching Freaks and Geeks. We watched the first episode and know everybody on the show. It's just packed with people who were famous today. Seth Rogen, which is Franco, Busy Phillips is in it. The woman who played in Dead to Me, Linda Kara, the Netflix show with anyway. You look at it, you're like going, who else? I'm actually afraid to see who's going to guest star because it only ran a season, so there's 22 episodes, and I'm just thinking whoever was their casting director was a genius to find all these people who will go on to do something else. Remember the kid from Bones who was? Did you ever watch Bones?
Nah.
Okay. Anyway, he went on to be in Bones after this show, and then he left Bones. He got killed in Bones because he's now writing screenplays. Like Horrible Bosses was his screenplay, and he's got a bunch of stuff out there. It's just an amazing cast. The show itself, though, feels really TV. I know it was TV, but I didn't think it was going to feel so TV. Yeah. So let's see. Okay, I watched on Prime. There's a show called Keith Haring, Street Art Boy.
Oh.
And I did want to say that it's only going to be on Prime until the end of June. It's there for Pride Month. But I wish the documentary was better. They had a lot of good interviews with people who knew Keith Haring, including his parents, who are both still alive. Wow. And people who knew him before he died, and as his career was building up. But it was fascinating seeing just anything about him. I have his poster up here from Falsettos, but that I knew not much more than that. And so this was really informative. And this is, for all you gay kids out there, these are the people who we need to remember and know who they were and what they did and why they're important to know. I mean, because we see Keith Haring's work, he died years ago.
Yeah.
20, 30 years, well, probably 25 years ago. And his artwork is everywhere. Well, he died in 92, so almost 30 years ago. And his artwork is in everything that we see connected to our community. And so you really should know why. The odd thing, though,
gay and HIV is iconic. He is symbolic with that. Anyway, sorry.
Well, once he contracted the HIV, his art went from gay to AIDS, and it's important, really important. When you find out more about him, it's really interesting. What I thought was funny was that he was this skinny kid with curly, like real tight curly hair, um, and glasses. And I thought, if Brian wasn't fat, he might look exactly like Keith Thornton. So,
oh dear.
yeah. And then this week, Jurassic Park season 3, the camp show that I love on Netflix, season finale. Big Shot, which is the John Stamos series on Netflix, season finale. We finished season 4 of Drawn Together again. We finished Cougar Town. Let's see, what am I missing here? Drawn Together, it's Cougar Town. Difficult People, I finished the season, 3 seasons again. It's just been a nightmare of losing all my friends again. But we are back watching Cougar Town and Big Mouth again. So yeah, nice. Not all bad. But it's weird watching 6 seasons of Cougar Town and then going back to the first episode where she's trying to make it with, basically teenagers.
Yeah.
But movies this week. Oh, I did watch a new show starting on HBO called In Treatment. And it's about a therapist working with, I think it's 6 different clients. But because of COVID, it's done on the computer. So it's them talking to their therapist. And I'm thinking, wow, this would have been a much better play.
Yeah.
Because just going back and forth on computer screens is boring. I don't know how else to put it. It was boring. Although both actors are terrific actors, it was boring on the episode 1, which was the first client. So, but then I saw 3 movies this week on Hulu. Right now, you can see The Croods season, or in the New Age, this Croods 2, which was so much better than Croods 1. I can't even tell you. Funny, poignant, beautiful. It was good. It was really good. You can see it for free right now on Hulu. I saw Luca, which is the new Pixar movie that's on Disney Plus right now for free. This went directly to Disney Plus. It's weird because Boss Baby 2 is coming out to theaters and on Peacock in 2 weeks. Directly. So I think they're using these animated pictures because I think animated pictures are a lot cheaper than they used to be to make.
Yeah.
And they're really good bait to bring on kids. Because if you've got a 6-year-old that likes Boss Baby, they're going to watch Boss Baby every day this summer for every day. And they're gonna eat it up. It's going to be ridiculous. And that's worth paying for Peacock for a lot of parents, or Luca. And so, but Luca is, the best way to describe it is a cross between The Little Mermaid, Call Me by Your Name, and Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer from CBS, classic Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. Basically, the story is 2 sea monster kids, boys. They long to be up on the land, and at one point the one kid's finding all the stuff that fell off a boat, and I'm like going, look at this stuff, isn't it neat? And then what happens is they find that when they get out of the water, they turn into human boys. And so and their thought is to get a Vespa and look at the rest of the world, because otherwise all they have is just they're part of the Mediterranean Ocean or Mediterranean Sea that they live near. They haven't seen anything and they want to see everything. So actually, so anyway, it's beautiful. Oh my God. You just want to pull up a table with an umbrella, of course, because it looks hot, and drink a glass of wine, maybe have some French bread, and look out at the water, because it's just so beautiful. And it's actually a very sweet story. I also saw Cruella, and what was interesting about Cruella, well, it's the Emma Stone, Emma Thompson reboot of the live action Cruella de Vil, but this takes place when Cruella's giving you her origin story, basically, how she was left. Her mother was killed, and she didn't know who her father was, so she ends up becoming a thief with the two boys, Jasper and the two guys from the 101 Dalmatians that help her out.
Oh,
The
yeah.
goofballs. Well, she's been with them since they were teens, like young teens. They've been living on the street and finding ways of doing shit. But she really wants to be a dressmaker. She wants to be, she wants to be Halston. She wants to be, she wants to be a famous, dressmaker. And so Emma Thompson, who is the top, does not want her to be famous, but she hires her and then keeps stealing all her work as her own. And so there's more to it. But what I thought was interesting, and it's a lot of fun. It really is. It's 2 hours and like 20 minutes, which I think was a little obsessive. But other than that, it was a lot of fun, big campy kind of feel to it. And Emma Stone has a lot of fun with it. But what was interesting about Cruella and Luca was that there was no romance involved. Cruella was not in love with anybody. Cruella, there was no boy that was, Luca did not like, his friend Julia. He didn't want to go out with her. He just wanted to be friends with her. And there was no kissing. There was no thoughts of, oh, why does this person love me? Which is so
love story.
Yeah, there was no love story in either of the movie. And I say, thank you.
Yes, nice.
Thank you. I'm so tired of teenage angst over why doesn't somebody love me? But I was really happy with all three movies I saw this week. This was a good week. It's so funny. The girls have gone into the flowering stage, even though they've done it right on time when they should have. And I've been trying to hold them back to try to get them to be bigger, the flower. But they're tiny. They're tiny, but hopefully they'll produce. And the third one is about this tall. The other ones are about 3 feet tall. But she's not gonna go without a full term, and I'm gonna love her no matter what.
Nice. That's pretty sweet.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Better.
Good.
And that's about it for me.
Oh, all right. Yeah, something that you're talking about the show where they had they were doing the therapy on the computer screens, and that sounds really difficult to make an interesting show out of, frankly. But I will tell you that one of the most amazing movies and one of the most amazing performances I ever saw from Whoopi Goldberg, and that's saying a lot because she's done some amazing performances, was The Telephone. Did you ever see this?
I know I did, but I don't remember.
Okay, so it's basically, there's a few bigger name actors and actresses from the time that show up, but basically the entire thing is done in her apartment. And it's basically, you just think that she's an actress and that she's really lonely and everything, and she's just down on her luck, waiting for the call for her to get her job, so that she can go act and everything. I don't know. I mean, obviously it's well over probably 20, 25 years old. So I don't know if I should give any spoilers, because I imagine probably some of our listeners haven't seen it. But if you want to see an amazing performance, go do that, because it has a twist at the end that really surprised even me. And I'm like, usually I can see things coming, but this one, no clue. Amazing performance, one set, done in a movie. You're never bored. Never bored. Anyway, moving on.
What is that on? Is it on something right now?
You know what? I will actually look this up. the telephone, because if it is, you should see it. Whoopi Goldberg. And it is currently, oh, actually it is, yeah, oh wow. It is free to watch on Tubi, $1.99 on Amazon Prime. So if you have Tubi, which is one of those, you know, stations that you can get, like if you have any Roku or anything like that, it's a free station.
I thought it was, oh, didn't that one, wasn't that the one that canceled?
Oh, you know what? I'm going to click on it and see. Age required. I don't know.
Okay.
I've never, I have no idea. I've really never heard of it except for scrolling past it.
Right.
So, but anyway, it is free on there, and then you can get it for $1.99. It is so worth the watch for an amazing performance. Okay, so this week for me, I had to write 2 articles. One of them was about one of my clients, and I was basically given a rough draft from someone, and I am not knocking, because article writing and, let's say, college essay writing are very different things, but I kind of had to, you know, translate that, and that took me a while to do. And the other one, I was asked to write about my hero, like my iconic celebrity hero, that, you know, was,
okay, go ahead.
Okay, so I'm like, okay, I can do that, you know, and I'm like thinking, okay, do I write about Corey and then say I got validation later when he later came out in his career and said, you know, I really support all my gay and transgender fans and everything, and or do I do Suzanne Westenhofer, who's like the first gay comedian that I saw and just went, oh my God, I love her so much. You know, do I do something more bigger? And then I was kind of told, you know, what would be really great is if you wrote about George Takei.
Oh.
Okay, see, that was kind of my reaction too. I'm like,
well, I thought you were going to say me.
Oh, well, you were, but you were my play. You were my
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
Theater.
Bloom is off the rose. Go ahead.
Yeah. Anyway, so I'm thinking, but he wasn't even out till 2005. How could he be like my childhood iconic hero? So I kind of had to figure out how to do that. So that took a while, but I think I pulled it off pretty well. And I do think that he is super awesome. But yeah, that was kind of weird. Anyway, so I hope it goes over well. If you read the article, don't tell anyone that I, you know, said that he wasn't necessarily. Anyway, so Mother's birthday was this week, and I wanted to thank everybody who gave happy birthday wishes on the Facebooks and everything. And I got her a fabulous Buddha. That is, you know, she loves Buddhas. So, and I also got her a 55-inch Fire TV from Amazon Prime for $150.
How? What is that?
I had a promotion, and then there was a Prime thing, a deal, and then I ended up getting this TV that normally goes for about $500 for like $150. So I was like, I can do that, you know, because I pinch my pennies, not as much as some people, Nephi, but I, you know, a little conservative with stuff, but I got it because her TV has some lines in it. You know how it gets those kind of age lines after a while?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, anyway, so that was really cool. I was very happy about that. She had a wonderful, wonderful time. Carrot cake, it was lovely. Anyway, also happy Letha to everyone. Today is actually yesterday was actually summer solstice, like the first day of summer and all that. It's normally, I think, on the 21st, but whatever.
Well, it was probably the 20th at like 9:48 p.m.
Something, yeah.
The majority would be in 21 or on the 21st. So.
But I am a horrible pagan because I completely like I knew it was coming up, but I thought it was the 21st, and then they're like, "Oh no, it's the 20th." And I'm like, "Well, shit." So I had a cookie, and said, "Yay, yay." I need to actually do one of these holidays, but usually my big pagan holiday is like Halloween and then winter solstice. Summer stuff, I don't
Well,
get it.
there's a really good album by Wyndham Hill called Summer Solstice. It's
Oh, I
new,
know.
new age. Yeah, it's really good.
Yeah, my mom got that, and it's so good. You're right. It is a really good album. Um, so of course, then Father's Day came up, and I had to be reminded that it was Father's Day, and I'm sure everybody who listens knows why. And so I had to go to the store, and I got him some coffee and some cookies because what the fuck else am I gonna? No, I'm not. We have too many damn mugs. We have too many. You know, he doesn't need anything. So yeah. Anyway, so I'm sure he was unhappy. I didn't get him a cake, so I'm sure that he'll come out of his grave. Bedelia, where's my Father's Day cake? But I didn't get him a card because there are no realistic cards. Like things are strained between us because you're an asshole. Or actually, our friend Ouija, the last Father's Day card that he got his father, actually said, "Thanks for not pulling out. Happy Father's Day." And I'm like, hey, that's real. So anyway, so if you want to send my father a Father's Day card, feel free to. No, anyway. And then he also celebrated Father's Day by there was a huge kerfuffle, and I heard him at the front door, and I like went out to see what was going on, and there he is standing completely naked with the door open, talking to someone, and I was like, what hell? And he's like, I can't understand them. You talk to them. Meanwhile, he is completely naked. I was horrified. The person who was at the door, thankfully, was like down at the bottom of the steps. I don't know if they ran there when the door opened or whether they were there to begin with. But she's just like, I wanted to make sure that everybody that wants their vaccination has one. I'm like, thank you for doing your job. We're all vaccinated. Thank you. And please don't me too him. He's old. So that caused a huge fucking fight between my parents. Now, keep in mind, for anyone that doesn't know, my parents have been divorced since I was 3. So there's no like, oh, they're a cute old couple fighting. No, this is her being like, I am so tired of you doing this shit. Anyway, it was not that pretty.
Did you
But
take any pictures?
girl, no. No, 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 no.
Okay.
We do not want that. I don't want my phone to break. It was horrible. Anyway, and so then he goes further. Now he has decided that he is just he needs help with his, I don't know, I guess knee, because he's having trouble walking. Well, he's had trouble walking for about 10 years now. But so they decided, okay, well, the new doctor that he's got is like not onto his tricks yet. So they decided to send out a evaluation nurse. And so now he's got physical therapy almost every day during the week. And he has a social worker, and he has nurses that are now coming out, and they all call my phone, of course, and try to set things up, which then he freaks out about because they didn't call him. And I'm like, hey, I didn't tell him to call me. You're the one that told him to call me. Well, he decided to tell the social worker that I won't cook for him, and that when I cook anything, I eat all the food myself. So I'm eating all the food in the house.
Well, and the worst part is that they're going to come there and see you and think,
Mhm.
oh, I guess
Of
he's
course he is, because he's a great big fat heifer. So this poor little old man, which by the way, my father is actually a big person himself.
he's
He's not as
fat.
big as me.
He's just fat.
What? You said it, I didn't. Anyway, but so he ain't starving, okay? And he is cooked for, but he says these things and he has no idea that there are repercussions for lying.
No, he knows. I don't think he's doing it by accident. He's a jerk.
Yeah.
He does it because he because you don't bend down and love him the way you should love him. Fuck him.
That's true.
Fuck him.
Yeah.
Put him down.
So he is now got himself into a situation where he has admitted that he can no longer cook for himself. So I just whatever.
So the state's supplying him with a
Yeah,
maid,
they're
a
going to be
cook,
sending him.
a nurse.
They're gonna
Oh
have
my God. Hey, I need to
more
figure
people
out.
in the house. More people in the house. Meanwhile, as soon as they leave, he goes out and cooks himself some ramen or something.
Why don't you get him to write all this shit down that he's doing? Because I want a maid and a cook and someone to do the yard work, and because I can't do it anymore, and I'm sure the state wants to help me. I'm old.
Oh yeah. Oh, and he plays the little old man so well. And then as soon as they leave, he like hops up on his walker and takes off for his room. He's like, so it's. I just at some point I just have to say, okay, you do you. But you keep playing this little part that you're playing, and they're finally going to say, you know what, if you can't cook for yourself, if you can't take your pills right, if you don't have somebody who can provide for you, then we're going to put you into a home. And he's going to land himself there because of his lies.
I know. That's
But
good. We want that.
you know what?
Lie away, lie away.
So anyway, it's just frustrating. It's like, I swear I'm still going to write a book that says parents, the kids you never wanted. So anyway, enough about him. I watched, so you were talking about you're watching
Cougar Town and
yes,
Big Mouth.
through again. I watched One Day at a Time through a third time. I got to the end of it. I missed them. Like you said, you're missing your friends. And so I watched it through a third time, and it was still just as good and made me laugh out loud every time. So it's such a good show. I also realized that I had not watched all of Collection 8 of the British Baking Show. So I'm working my way through that. I'm sad that the hottest guy on there is a straight guy. It's very weird because usually it's the gay guys.
I know, but remember, you don't have a chance at either of them, so you don't have to be.
Oh, that's true. So I'll just admire by far. But
Yeah, it's like I know Mark Ruffalo. I know I personally know him. I know he's straight,
yeah,
but I love him, and that's okay.
And deservedly so, because he is adorable.
I know, and he just happens to look kind of like my husband.
Oh yeah, I didn't really think about that. Yeah.
I think about it all the time.
Yeah. Oh, Mark, what? um, okay, I watched a Netflix movie called 3022. Big pile of fucking steamy poo. And I hate saying that because there's actually an actor or two, a couple actresses in there that I really like, but boy, was this awful. And not only that, but it had no fucking cohesive plot to it. Like, you didn't know what was going on, you didn't know why it was going on, and it was just it was even worse than that thing with Bruce Willis that I watched last week.
Ugh.
What was it? Flesh or Torn or Destroyed or Breach, I think it was.
Breach.
Something like that.
So is this on Prime as well?
It is actually on Netflix.
Okay.
And there were no gay characters, which was really weird to watch something on Netflix with no gay characters. But it really, don't waste your time.
Well, it's funny because with Prime is a lot of the movies they get from Prime come from Lionsgate.
Oh,
and,
yeah.
and Lionsgate was back in the day when I was working video, they were the people that brought out the junk. I don't know how else to put it. Occasionally they get a good one, like Hunger Games or, one of those, but mostly it was like junk. It was junk that rented really well too. So, but they're still doing it, is what I'm saying.
Oh, wow. Well, I don't know where the hell this one came from, but I mean, the only thing I kept saying was literally there is no plot, nothing. There's no, anyway, moving on. But then it made it all better because I watched Judy last night with Renee Zellweger, and I got all soppy during it. I just thought it was really well done. And I mean, Judy, anything about Judy will make me cry because it's just, she's got such a story. I mean, all the stuff that she did that was wonderful, but her story, her personal life story, is just like the biggest story about her, that she ever did. So,
I will tell you that the timeline is, they took liberty with the timeline, kind of like they did with Queen on the "We Will Rock You."
yeah.
But you can't berate her performance.
No.
Yeah,
I was really surprised.
She was tremendous, and it's a very sad movie, but it's her performance was exceptional, and that's why she won the Oscar.
Yeah. And then I finished Little Women, the original, the Winona Ryder version. It made me a little misty at the end just because I'm a big sap, but I'm really interested. Even the preview of the new one was so much better than anything in the original. And I hate saying that because there were some wonderful actors and actresses in it, but it was just bad. It was just badly done. But I want to see the new one. It already, just the previews made me go, oh, tell me more.
It's so good. I was shocked at how, because I had just watched the Winona Ryder one, like less than a month before I saw the new version.
Yeah.
And I haven't seen any of those Little Women's, any of the other versions in years. So I was like, oh God, how did this get a nomination for Best Picture? The new one. And then when I watched it, it was like, oh my God, the director, gone blank on her name, from Sacramento, is really a genius. She's really a genius director to be able to take something that everybody's done over and over again and given us either the same the same awful sappiness that you get from the book, and made it a real story. And the people are interesting, and I'm rooting for them. It was because the original.
Yeah, because when I'm watching it, the one pivotal scene in the whole fucking movie is when she cuts her hair to buy a train ticket so that her mom can go see her dad who's injured in the war. That's like a huge, huge thing in the movie, especially for a woman of that time to cut their hair. And of course, the sisters say, oh, the one thing that's pretty about you, and you got rid of it. And like, they just completely washed over. They're like, oh, Joe, oh, how sad. Okay, well, off to see your dad. Anyway. Okay, so also I've been watching Good Neighbors, also known in Britain as The Good Life. I've been watching that again, and it threw me because they have a disclaimer before every episode. Now that's like, this was filmed at a time before time began, and some cultural references and stuff may be offensive. And I'm thinking, really, this is kind of an innocuous show. I don't know what's really. But then I realized, oh, that's right. They say things like, rock, paper, scissors was ching, chang, chawler. And like, they just have different things that they say. And then, of course, Margot, who is one of my favorite characters, she's horribly racist against Indian people and anybody that's not a boring white middle class elite back then. So wow, okay. I'm like, okay, I got you, I got you. So, but it's been fun, kind of seeing, visiting those friends again.
They put those now on difficult people, which makes sense because
Yeah.
they're terribly awful people. And then but on Cougar Town, it's on Cougar Town now.
Really?
Yeah, because they're probably just it's against women, or they make some side joke because Ellie was always making comments about weird things, and Bobby was always too dumb to know what he's saying.
Yeah.
And so they have, so it's a new way of life now. They got them on the Golden. I'm sure they're on the Golden Girls.
Oh yeah, yeah.
They'd almost
Absolutely.
have to have them on the Golden Girls.
Yeah.
Or All in the Family, or
I think anything. They were just gonna pick a date, say 5 years ago, and anything before 5 years ago, they're just gonna automatically put disclaimers on now.
Didn't Jan do blackface on the Brady Bunch?
Oh my gosh!
I think she did blackface at one point.
Huh.
Because she didn't want to be the blonde girl, and she had the wig, and I think she even put on blackface.
I don't remember that. That if I saw that, that would freak me the fuck out.
Yeah, I mean, it's crazy watching some of these things. I saw this. I'm sorry to break into your time, but
no.
Andy Cohen had on Jane Curtin and Lorraine Newman. Which he didn't want. He talked a little about what they're doing now, but he wanted Saturday Night Live shit, right? Mm-hmm. He goes, okay, we're both of you there during the big Chevy Chase Bill Murray argument backstage after one, he was guest hosting, and they're going, well, that was really ugly, and it was a long time ago, and I've never heard of it, so. But I could see where, because Bill Murray took Chevy Chase's place, and Bill Murray was supposed to be on the original. So I'm sure there was some tension, some kind of tension. I didn't know it was, and it's funny because he goes, yeah, they have a big argument, and a year later they're both in Caddyshack, but whatever that, there's money involved. But one of the, the things was that he said, what was your favorite skit? And Jane goes, well, I always liked it when the uncle came to babysit the two girls, and it was Buck Henry. And what he'd do is he'd get the two girls to do, okay, they were both dressed in like little skirts, flip up your skirts and dance around, and then he'd take pictures of them. And at one point he slides underneath the coffee table, which is a glass coffee table, and he goes, okay, let's sit on the coffee table, move around, and he's snapping pictures. And I remember it was hilarious, but today they could never make that skit.
No, that would be hilarious today. It would be an after-school special.
And then he also asked one other thing, which kind of plays into this. He says, so let me ask you this. Okay, your big line on the news was when Dan Aykroyd would go, Jane, you ignorant slut. And he goes, did that bother you back then? Does it bother you now? And she goes, well, it didn't bother me back then. It was like a catchphrase, and people liked the show because I was going to be this, over the top liberal, and he was going to call me an ignorant slut. And she goes, but the thing is, I just wish people wouldn't yell it at me when I'm crossing the street today, And I'm like, yeah, but you couldn't say that, Jane, you ignorant slut. Somebody would be all over that today.
Yeah,
because you could call her ignorant, but calling her a slut is, calling, saying all women are sluts.
Yeah.
So
but it reminds me of when I was watching the Munsters. I was going through this phase trying to watch all the Munsters, and this was several years ago. And there was this point where Grandpa said something about, oh, well, he can't do this or that because, well, he's Mexican. And then Grandpa goes, oh, great. I can see it now. The case of the wetback lawyer. And I was just like, oh, no, you didn't. But I mean, this was like back then in the 50s, 60s.
That's 50
we
years
had
ago.
shit like that all the time. And
Yeah.
I'm not, it freaks me out when I hear that stuff. But now it's like I'm even more sensitive to it. It's like if I heard that, I'm just like, oh, I can't believe Grandpa would say that.
Well,
Anyway,
yeah. Grandpa was a racist, so.
Yeah. Anyway, the last thing in my week is so I am officially diagnosed as a diabetic. Cha-ching! I tested my blood sugar for anyone that doesn't really know, which is probably almost all of you. I tested my blood sugar about 6 weeks ago and it was like really high. So I immediately like changed my diet, scared everybody. I was sending Tom pictures of like avocado and boiled shit. He was like, what's wrong? Anyway, so I changed my diet, started doing way better, got my blood tests, and the doctor, when he told me, he was just like acting like it was no big deal. And he's just like, keep, doing the changes that you've made. Here's some pills. Just take these twice a day. You're gonna be fine. You're gonna reverse it. It's all good. And so anyway, I've got a good, like start on controlling it and everything, but it was a little hard for me to process. Like when I finally heard the words, it's like, yeah. And so I feel, I said this to several people, you mostly, actually probably only you, that I kind of felt like a fat guy fail, I've been saying you can be big and you can be healthy, and then here I am. I let all the chubs down. I got the beaties. So
yeah, you got the beatus.
Yeah. Anyway, so got that going on. Changed some things and doing much better. So anyway, it is what it is. But I'm gonna be honest and talk about it. There's no reason not to. It's not like some big shameful thing. So
no, it's not like
being a Republican.
Well, yeah, I remember when Mary Tyler Moore came out as a diabetic, and everyone's like, oh my God, I love Mary Tyler Moore. It's like, okay, she's a diabetic. She's not, stage 4 cancer. Calm down.
Right.
There's treatment. Of course, she was
type 1.
Type 1.
Yeah.
But it's like you got to take the shame out of these diseases.
Yeah.
Otherwise, people don't get them taken care of.
Right. And type 2, if you do take care of yourself and you make the changes and you work at it, it can reverse. Unfortunately, the people that I've had in my family basically said, okay, and then did nothing. They even got worse with their behaviors, and it has affected them. I've seen the way it's affected them very badly. And so it's kind of like, for me, the little cautionary, like, okay, bitch, I can do this now because I ain't becoming that, that type of thing. So
I just want to say, if you want to send Matt a gift, no longer candy.
Right. Yes.
No candy.
That's right. I will be accepting nudes, and I will be accepting Amazon, and but no more sugar.
What am I going to do with these Cadbury eggs?
Oh, that's right. Well, my mother loves Cadbury eggs.
Okay.
Yeah. So if you really want to give them up, she would love them. But yeah, for me, laying off that stuff. And you know what? Honestly, I kind of don't miss it. Maybe it's just I got
because you were on a rampage of chocolate and candy for a
6
good
months at least
6 months. Yeah.
Yeah.
It was funny because I won't say who it was, but they go, well, he really did make a go of it the last.
It's true. And like, I was just getting it. I just had bags of it. And I loved it. But at the same time, it was a little bit self-destructive behavior too, because I knew what I was doing. So anyway, but here we are. And I'm good. So
You can give yourself, because I'll tell you, I knew somebody who had diabetes from a young age, never took care of themselves because they just took insulin every day,
right.
whether they needed, well, they needed it because they ate normal. Not actually, they didn't even eat normal. They ate everything,
Right.
everything they wanted, good or bad. And but then I've seen other people, and by the way, they're no longer with us
Right.
at a young age.
Mhm.
They had kidney failure along with everything else. And that ultimately what did them in, but
Yeah.
very sad. But I know other people, quite a few other people who have gone from injections down to pills to not needing any medication anymore.
Yeah.
So it can happen.
Yep.
And it happens when you eat better and you just stay away from the sugars.
Yeah. My mom actually, they had about 3 years ago, they said, well, you're at a level where you're considered like just at that borderline where you kind of have it, but you're still pre. And she got on a daily med and changed her eating up a little bit. So she only eats, like Cadbury eggs, like maybe once a week or so.
Sure.
She right back out of it. She's completely fine. So anyway, but you do have to take care of yourself. And I'm telling you, you can be overweight and you can be healthy, but you have to pay attention and you have to make the effort to be healthy. So, and there's nothing wrong with that.
Right.
All right. Hey, we want to remind you to be loud, be proud, be too much, and to be you. Fat Marker Clothing wants those of us who've been told that we are too much of something to turn those negatives into positives. And you can do that by using the code FMWildChub to get 20% off anything while ordering over at fatmarkerclothing.com. And it is almost the end of Pride Month, so go over and check out their Pride deals, their Pride stuff. It is really, really good, good quality stuff, and it made me happy to see all of it. All right, let's find some advice, but this one comes from Miss Manas. All right, ready? My husband and I and almost all our friends are fully vaccinated against COVID, or soon will be. With the exception of last year, we have held a summer party at our home annually for decades. We anticipate that we will do the same this summer. So, following the CDC and local health department guidelines, of course, we hope to have around 20 people, all of whom we know to be fully vaccinated. A couple of friends who live nearby have always been invited.
And
Anyway,
have always attended.
yes. Hopefully, they will let us know. Sorry, I lost.
They're choosing to be vaccinated. We're not comfortable with including them this year because both are traditional and proximity. Wait, because both are traditional and proximity, they will know the party is taking place.
How does Miss Manis suggest we handle this? If we don't mention the party to them, what should we say if they drop by that day, which could happen? I'm sure others will face the same dilemmas in the near future, and I hope you can give us some guidance.
Honestly, what I would put up on you can't come to the party on the front door. You can't come to the party unless you're fully vaccinated. Don't bother ringing. We won't answer.
Right.
I'm done with people who don't want to get vaccinated.
Oh, did I show you the picture? I took a picture of a sign at the bar at Bear Bar that actually is sitting on the bar that says, if you are not vaccinated, you cannot sit at the bar.
Good.
Yeah,
Good.
I'm good with that. Although I don't know how do they check? Do they ask you for a card? I don't know, but
well, the thing is, the more they see those, well, first of all, the more they're going to know what it was like to be, black and sit at you can't sit here if you're black, in the Woolworths.
I thought of that, yeah.
Or gays when it's like, well, we don't want your type in our neighborhood, and I mean, they're gonna know what it's like to be a minority in this country, and it's a good thing for most of them.
for most of these guys, yes, it
Yeah.
is, because it's really ridiculous not to. And this is the type of thing that is, I mean, I went to the bar on what, Friday, and it was happy hour, and there were probably about, I'm gonna say 75, maybe 80 people in the bar and
Right.
in close proximity of people. And I'm just thinking, there is going to be somebody in here who is asymptomatic of something. There's going to be someone in here who has blah, 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 but almost everybody else is going to be vaxxed. And I'm just like, how many of these guys are not? And just aren't going to say anything because they're dicks.
Well, I mean, just look at over the last couple weeks. I don't know. I didn't get a COVID test,
Mhm.
but I had no taste in my mouth.
Right.
I couldn't taste anything. I could still smell,
Mhm.
but according to my husband, badly. But I smell badly. Anyway, but I did not go out places until after I got my sense of taste back, because they say I can't do it. I mean, it's 95%. Now, if somebody who's vaccinated is going to get it, the fact is, if you're not vaccinated, you don't get the fun stuff, which is you don't go to the hospital and you don't die,
Mm-hmm.
which is at this point is a guarantee with the vaccine.
Right.
Nobody that gets it afterwards has any major symptoms that sends them to the hospital or
Right.
to the grave. So there's no reason why these people aren't getting vaccinated.
Yeah, except for their own stupidity
Right.
and conspiracy bullshit. So anyway, I would say point blank, I would tell them to their face if they ask. I mean, I wouldn't invite them, but if they ask or whatever, I would say, I'm sorry, but you're not vaccinated, and I don't want to risk your health from our party.
Yeah.
Anyway, let's see what Miss Manners had to say. Even under normal circumstances, guests have no business assuming that they have a permanent pass to annual parties, but they do, don't they? Even the ones who fail to reciprocate. Miss Manners thinks of a friend who gave an annual New Year's Eve ball but planned to be out of town one year, therefore no invitations were issued, and 40 people showed up at his house. Still, the host is not responsible for others' unwarranted presumptions. You need not explain why you are not inviting these people. They will probably be able to figure it out for themselves. Any discussion is to be avoided if at all possible. Should they actually show up, you can say, you told us you were not planning to be vaccinated, so we assumed you were keeping social distance. We hope to see you again when it is safe. And that is a really good answer. Other than saying, fuck you, bitches, go get the shot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is a maskless party.
Yeah. Well, and it's a fucking pandemic, and there are no, you ever wonder how things spread? It's because of people like that.
Yeah, I know. It's ridiculous. They get what they get. They get what they deserve.
Well,
I hate saying that, but
yeah,
I'm
I
sorry.
hate saying that, but sometimes I feel it. Yeah.
It's a free vaccine that has little to no problems.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And if they're worried about the second shot, you get really sick. Some do, some don't.
I didn't. You
And
did. I didn't.
I'm sorry. I'd rather be sick for a day than die.
Yeah. And it's not that sick. Are you kidding? It gave you a good reason to nap all day.
Exactly.
I wish I had one of those that was legitimate.
Yeah. All right. Hey, Chubs, almonds or cashews?
I would have to say cashews, only because I can't process almonds anymore.
I don't think I've never been able to, but I have almonds because they are a good food for me. But I love the cashews ever since I was a little kid, and 7-Eleven had these hot nuts. Do you remember the hot nut bars?
No.
7-Elevens, yeah. But there were hot cashews and hot nuts that had the honey crust on the outside. God, they were so good. I love
Well,
cashews.
cashews are good for you as well.
Yeah, but they have a higher fat content, so
True.
you're not supposed to like. You can't eat them as much as you can eat almonds.
Okay,
Yeah.
fair enough.
So hey Chubs, what did you have for breakfast?
I don't eat breakfast.
See, I didn't used to, but I do lately. And I had boiled eggs, boiled chicken, an avocado, strawberries, part of a banana, and then I have a juice trifecta, which is a squeezed grapefruit, squeezed orange, squeezed lemon with a shot of apple cider vinegar.
You didn't get those gummies yet?
Didn't get what? What? Huh?
Gummies?
Gummies?
The apple cider gummies?
Oh no, I haven't gotten those yet. No, I'm still on the bottle, but then I'll look for the others.
Yeah, and watch out with juices because they're also
Yeah, citrus juice is really good. But any other type of juices like the cranberry and all that stuff.
apple and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah.
Just have to be careful. It's hidden sugars
Mhm.
and nothing good. I mean, you get some vitamin C out of it and some citrus acid, but you don't get, it's that's why they say if you, at least if you're going to drink orange juice, have it with the pulp because at least you're getting some fiber.
Right. And that's another thing. I've cut any juices that are pre-made juices. I don't have any of that stuff. And
don't give them to your kids either.
Right, exactly.
Those boxes, those are little things that you might as well just give them little packages of sugar to eat.
And like if you look at a thing of orange juice, it is just like, oh my God, it's the amount of sugar and stuff in that is ridiculous. What's the other thing I was going to tell you? But citrus is pretty good. I don't know. Oh, the banana though. I don't have much banana anymore because it is, sugary. All right. Anyway, I don't want this to become. This is Chubs Gone Wild. It's not Chubs Gone Dieting. So, but
But we have,
of course. All right. But you know what I want to find out is what's in your lunchbox.
Yeah. While you're getting that set, the reason I never ate when I was a kid, if I eat breakfast, I'd get on that big sugar high and it wouldn't last until lunch.
Oh,
yeah. So I would conk out. And if I found that if I didn't eat breakfast, I was tired, but I didn't fall asleep in class. And then I'd have lunch, and then that would get me through to dinner time. Not even thinking about it being a nutritional thing. Mine was just, if I eat something, I feel like I'm dying an hour and a half, 2 hours later as a kid.
That makes sense.
Yeah. And as an adult, it's just like, okay, you drink coffee, which I don't like. And then you get donuts or, cereal. And it's just like, I don't want sugar all the time.
Right.
And that's what they keep pushing out as breakfast food. If you want to make bacon, eggs, and hash browns, I'm all there.
Oh, yeah.
I'll find a way.
I make these guys. I'll make these guys eggs and bacon usually for breakfast if we have it. But when I was a kid, we were really poor, and so I just didn't have a breakfast.
No, when you were a kid, you were poor?
I know nobody really knows that.
I didn't know that.
But yeah, so we just didn't have anything for breakfast, and so as I got older, I just didn't. It wasn't a thing. So,
yeah.
Anyway, so Phoenix Dave wrote in and said, what did he say? He said, took hubby out for lunch for his belated birthday. His birthday was in early January. And we ate.
That's a little belated, isn't it?
Yeah, it's like your half birthday at this point. So we ate a tsunami at Tsunami Sushi Restaurant. This was a bento box with chicken and rice, sushi, mixed vegetables, and fruit. As usual, it was wonderful.
Well, the teriyaki looks great, but I thought bento boxes didn't include sushi.
I don't know. I know
I
we have
thought
bento boxes
I
around
thought
here.
that's what the bento box was a non-fish alternative for the non-fisher people,
Hmm.
people who don't want the raw fish. They can have a bento box with a salad and usually some um, tempura, vegetables, and then the teriyaki, and then some fruit. Actually, the
Uh,
fruit's kind of throwing me.
this is what's in. Okay, I asked what's in a bento box, and it says it is a single portion box meal, usually composed of a carb, rice or noodles, a protein, meat or fish, and an assortment of pickled or cooked vegetables. And so it doesn't specifically
No, that
say.
I just never knew, I
Yeah,
guess.
although I'm not in these bento box photos, there's only one of them that has a sushi, and it looks like it's a California roll. So I don't know. Anyway, um, so that's very cool. Thank you, Mr. Phoenix Dave, for
Yes,
writing in.
I love bento boxes.
I have never had one. I should do that at some point.
Well, it's just a nice
They're very
alternative.
healthy looking.
Yeah, when you don't want to just do like a sushi roll,
Hmm.
like at lunchtime, bento boxes are great.
Yeah, that sounds like a perfect time for that. Mr. RT Cruiser.
RT, oh my God, what's
I
he?
know. Well, he is also eating much healthier these days. Actually, you know what? Several of our Pride 48ers are kind of going through stuff like Mr. Sater is
Right.
is having to change his ways as well. But anyway, RT writes in and says, eating healthier under doctor's orders. Today is teriyaki chicken salad on a base of spinach and cabbage. And that looks really interesting.
Yeah, I'm about ready to
Uh,
move from romaine to
mhm.
cabbage, I think, because I just not been the romaine lately up, well, at least that we're getting,
Yeah.
has either no flavor or an odd flavor to it. And it just doesn't taste good with Thousand Island, because that's my favorite right now.
That a really good Thousand Island is great. I now use vinaigrette because of the olive
Sure.
oil and the vinegar. And I like it. I really like it. But I'll tell you, no to the ranch. I'm over blue cheese, and a Thousand Island is so good. But anyway,
Now, are you making your own vinaigrette?
not yet. I went
I'll,
ahead and
I'll
got a thing, and then at some point I will investigate that.
I'll tell you how to do it. It's really simple. You're gonna go, I'm not buying Italian dressing ever again.
Cool. Yeah,
Yeah.
awesome. Thank you. And then Mr. Moose wrote in. Actually, he wrote in at the very last minute, squeezed an extra one out for us, so to speak.
Oh,
Uh,
it's like poop, not cum. Okay.
uh,
Clarify that.
here, a big pile of shrimp tacos,
Oh my
fill,
God.
filling filling of grilled shrimp, lettuce, tomato, cheddar, and salsa, and those look amazing. Although, yeah, I don't think I've ever had a shrimp taco.
I
Just because I
haven't.
never ordered one.
I've never had a shrimp or a fish taco because I always like ground beef tacos.
Yeah, same. Or chicken. I've had chicken tacos, but
I used to
never
like chicken
shrimp.
tacos, but I'm into beef now.
Nice. I like beef too. And then sent in a takeout salad, mixed greens, cucumber, diced tomatoes, pepper strips, roasted corn, cheddar, and jack cheese, tortilla strips, beef brisket, rotisserie chicken, ranch dressing. That is a lot.
This isn't a salad. This is like two meals. Did they
I
both eat this?
know.
Look at that.
That is beautiful. And I'll tell you that beef because I love beef. I really do. And that just looks amazing.
Now, was that chicken or pulled pork? It was chicken, right?
Yes.
Look at all the chicken.
Yeah. And it's rotisserie chicken.
So it's good for you.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, the beef does make me want to barbecue tonight. I just haven't had a steak lately.
You know what? I got some steaks for these guys. Well, I mean, for all of us, but I think it was some special day for something. And
Father's Day?
no,
Okay.
no, what did I cook yesterday for him?
Well, obviously you
I
ate
don't
it
know.
yourself, so it doesn't matter.
Apparently, but it was eggs and bacon. Oh, motherfucker. I bought a 17 pound, I wish, a $17 3-pound of bacon at the store. And I'm like, okay, this is going to last a while. It's going to be really good. I started to fry it up yesterday. And I'm like, that smells weird. In very, very small print above the big smoked bacon, little tiny print, smoked and spicy. So it had this cheap little spice thing added to it. So of course, I live with two people that if you put pepper on food, they're like, oh, my mouth is burning. So that didn't go over well.
More for you, though.
Yeah, I guess.
Bacon.
Actually, I think I'm probably going to share it with Lori Dean because he likes hot, spicy stuff. But I was just like, you know what? If you're going to put if it's not going to be regular bacon, put it in big print. Don't hide it in the tiny little. I don't pay fucking attention to that shit. It looks like bacon. I'm going to put it in my cart. Anyway, moving on. So thank you, everybody that wrote in. If you want to share what's in your lunchbox, just send us an email at chubsgonewild@gmail.com.
You made us hungry.
Yeah, hope so. Let's see. Currently, LGBTQ people of color in America have a disproportionately high rate of new HIV infections. Golden Rule Services of Sacramento, along with the HIV Community Planning Council, want you to know that there is an important tool in preventing you from contracting HIV. Pre-exposure prophylaxis, aka PrEP, is a medication proven to be 99% effective in preventing HIV infection. To learn more about PrEP, call your local sexual health clinic. In Sacramento, California, contact Golden Rule Services at sacgrs.org to get started on protecting your sexual health today.
That's right. And there's no reason that anybody should get HIV anymore.
No. And PrEP is free. Whatever insurance you have, if your insurance doesn't cover it, they will find a way to do it. You can get this. So if you're, yeah.
Yeah.
All right, send us an email at chubsgonewild@gmail.com. Leave us a comment on chubsgonewild.com. Like us on Facebook, facebook.com/chubsgonewild. Please consider becoming a patron of the show over patreon.com/Matt Burlingame and find Tom's movie and TV reviews at swannerandjudd.com. And find their podcasts at iTunes or on iHeartRadio. Find out more about my books at the fabulous, newly renovated site, justkisstheguy.com, and check out my other podcasts at biggaySexShow.com. Also, give us a call at
408-69 Chubs.
Yes, we haven't had a call in a long time, so we need one of those. Call me in the night. Sorry, I have to stop because of royalties, but anyway.
I don't think anybody really knew what that was, so I think we're safe.
That's true, probably, yeah. All right. Thank you so much for tuning in and spending another fabulous summer day with us. We appreciate it. And don't forget that we have our live show coming up in about a month, actually, on pride48.com. So, but we'll see you before then on our big 400. I said 400.
400 people.
408-69 Chubs. 400 people. Oh.
Yeah, I think they caught it.
Okay. I don't know if I got my hint strong enough. So, yeah. Anyway, we love you. We'll catch you next time.
Bye.